Hey, Carlisle here, and today we're going to talk about Linux. So if you never used Linux before and you're a little bit nervous, you don't know what the commands are, I'm going to teach you the commands that you need to know. These are the bare minimum of commands that you're going to need to be able to use a Linux terminal. Now, first of all, let's make a distinction between what Linux is and Ubuntu. So Linux is the kernel, kind of a Unix-based or Unix-like kernel, and then you have Ubuntu, which is a distribution. That's your software package. Now, the kernel alone, I'm not going to be able to do, like, for example, the kernel doesn't have a terminal. Terminal is what I'm using here to access the command line, so I can be able to do all these commands we're going to be doing. Now, I need this terminal actually came as part of Ubuntu. So Ubuntu includes a terminal and includes a bunch of other software. So that's your software package. Linux is the actual kernel. You combine them together, you have an operating system, and we're ready to go. All right, so first of all, let's go ahead and we're in a terminal. We're looking at the command line here. So where are we? PWD, present working directory. That's how you know where you are as far as directory. So we are in a directory called Carlisle, which is a subdirectory of home, which is located in the root directory. So to go to the root directory, we can type in cd and /, and if we do a present working directory, we can see we're in the root directory. The root directory is where everything starts from. That's your directory tree. That's the home of the tree. Every other directory is going to be a subdirectory of the root. Root is where you start from. Now I can type in just cd enter, and if I do present working directory, we will see we're back to the home directory. Another command you can use is again cd / to go back to the home, to go back to root, but we can type in cd and tilde. I'm sorry, I forgot that. Tilde, cd tilde, and that'll take us to the home directory as well. So let's clear the screen, type in clear. Let's get a list of what's in this directory, so we see what's in this directory. Let's get the list in a different format by adding an option with a dash and lowercase l. How did I know how to do that? How will you know how to do that? Well, you have manual pages or man pages. You can type in man and ls. So I want the manual for the ls command because I watched this really cool video online, Carlisle Speaks Wall Street, and he taught me all these cool things about Linux, but I don't remember how he got that long listing with the ls command. What was the option that he typed in? Well, man ls. What are the options? All the options are right here in this document. So you can just type in man and the command name and you can get all the options. So here's what I was using before, or lowercase l, right, to get the long listing. Now you can also do an R. You can actually search whenever you're in some kind of an editor like this or this kind of mode where I'm using the up arrow and down arrow to navigate. Typically you can use the / to be able to search. So I can search for, I want to look for reverse. There you go. So reverse -R. So it's in there. Now I'm going to press shift to get colon, and Q is usually the quit. That's usually how you get out of these kind of things. So again, man ls, I'm in there searching for whatever, find whatever, and then when I'm done, I'm going to type in colon and Q to quit, and there it is, I'm out. Alright, so let's clear the screen again. Let's do the directory listing. I'm hitting up arrow. A lot of times, depending on how you're set up, you can use up arrow and down arrow to kind of replay previous commands. Alright, so let's do ls-l. I can filter this list. You can use what we call piping. So this is the key that has that slash, right? Has this symbol that looks like this, which may look like that with a dash in the middle, kind of broken in the middle, and we call that a pipe. Now what you're doing with a pipe is you're filtering one command, or you're putting the output of one command into another command. So I'm saying take the output of this command, feed it into this command. Right? Grep is a command that allows you to search for strings. I can search for, like I'm going to type in m lowercase u. Linux is case sensitive. Always remember that, case sensitive. You will find yourself in big problems if you do not remember that, right? Because if I type in mu, that is completely different from mu to Linux. Linux is very, very specific. All right. So what I'm doing now is I'm sending the results of the ls-l command, which is this, I'm piping it using this command into grep, and I'm using grep to search for this string, which is capital M lowercase u, and it comes up in music, right? And it was nice enough to even color it for me where it found the string there. All right, so there's another thing I can do. I can actually do an inverse grep, which is going to show me every line except the one with the M and U, capital M lowercase u. Now, again, how would I know about that option? Do you remember what you do? How do you find out options like that? I can type in man, and I can type in grep. Grep is the command that I just used to do that. So let's look for inverse. I'm just typing inv, and invocation, nope, N for next. There you go, invert, lowercase v, dash v, right here. Right? That's how you find out commands. Another way you can find out commands is, let's say you're doing some kind of networking and you're new to Linux and you want to find out how to set your routes. You don't know what the command is. You have apropos. Apropos allows you to search for. So I don't know the name of the command, but I know I want to do something with the route. So I need a command that does things with the route. So I type in apropos route, and it's going to show me commands that are relevant to the string route. So for example, the command route comes up here because that allows you to manipulate the IP routing table. So let's say I wanted to know how to search for things. Again, up arrow is going to give me back the command I just typed in, and now I'm looking for some kind of a search command. So I can type in apropos search, and all these options come up, and somewhere in here is possibly what I'm looking for. Like, for example, a very powerful tool in Linux for searching is find. Extremely powerful. In fact, so powerful that it can get a little bit complicated because of all the options that are available to you, but you're definitely gonna want to learn how to use find in the future. All right, so let's see what else we can do here. So we know pwd. Now let's look at the files in this directory. Let's see if we can do something with those files. So there's a file called fixlog, and I can use a command called cp fix.log fixtest.log. Let's see what happens. So what did I just do? Let's do an ls-l. Actually, not l, just do like that. See that? There's a new file now, fixtest.log. So what I essentially did is I copied ls-ltr. I copied this fix.log to a new file called fix.test. I made a copy of it. So as you can see, these files basically are the same files. You look at the size, see 55. Now, if you want to have these numbers be in a better format, I believe H, lowercase h. So there you go, you have human readable format. So now I can see 544K, 45K, and 540. So it's the same exact file size, same exact file. Now, if I did this by accident, I want to remove that file, I can do rm fix, and I can type tab. Actually, I need more than that. Fix test. There you go. Tab. So tab allows you to autofill. So by me typing in fix and hitting tab, nothing happens because there's a bunch of files that begin FIX, right? But if I hit tab again, it's going to show me all the files that match that pattern of FIX, right? So I'm going to add one more letter, which is T. There's only one file that begins FIXT. So when I hit tab, it's going to autocomplete the rest of the word for me. And RM allows me to remove that file. So if I do ls-l, you can see that file has been removed. Now, another thing you can do is you can actually move files around. So I can do mv, I can say mv fix.log, and let's see if we can put this in one directory back. So dot is referencing the parent directory that I'm in right now. So I'm actually in home Carlisle. So I'm by doing // I'm saying home. So that's a directory I'm referencing. So I'm saying move fix to home fix.log. So let's see what happens. cannot do that because I don't have permission to move that particular file. Now, if you want to deal with permissions and you don't know about permissions because it's saying permission denied. Oh, so how do I set permissions? Apropos, getting confused, talking, can't type and write at the same time. Apropos, and we can say permission. So we see all the different options that are relevant to permission, and we see chmod or change mode. That's how you can change permissions of a file, right? Now, so chmod allows you to change the permissions on a file, but if we also look at the listing here, we can see that each file is listed. It says, what's all this mumbo jumbo? Right? What does all that mean? So it's pretty simple. The way you look at this is, first of all, note that the older file from 2005, the timestamp is listed as the month and day. Now for the newer files, sorry about that. For the newer files, you have the actual timestamp and you have the month and day as well. Now the next thing you're going to have is the size in bytes of the file. Then you have basically this is my file, so this is actually listing me. I'm actually the owner of the file. Now over here you actually have your permissions, which is set up in groups of 3. But before that you have a dash, which indicates that this is a file. That's a file, that's a file. Now you see a D for directory. So these are directories and these are files. Right? First group of permissions, read, write, execute. So that is the permissions for me, the owner. So as the owner, I have permissions to read, write, and to execute. Now for the group that I'm in, the group permissions on this are read, write, or just read and write. And now this is for everybody else. They have also just read and write permissions. So in theory, I should be able to move this file because, as you can see, I'm the owner of this file. See, my name is listed here, and you see it says I have read, write, and execute. So that's everything I should need. So why wouldn't I be able to move this to the home directory? Well, let's take a look at the home directory. So if we go cd ... that'll take us back one directory. So now we're in the home directory. See, we're in home directory now. Now if we do an ls, what happens? You just get Carl ls-l. So we're actually in the home directory, so we're not going to actually see home directory listed. Now we might be able to do an ls dot. See, that's not going to work either. But what we could do is we could do an ls dot slash, actually dot should work. There we go. So that's telling me I want to get a listing of the directory, the parent directory of where I am, which essentially is actually the root directory. Now if we do an ls -l ... now we can see the full listing here, and we can see home, and we can see the permissions on the home directory. So the home directory, the owner of the home directory has read, write, and execute, but the group permissions are just execute and read. You need to edit that out. You need to edit that out, dude. Alright, so let's move around a little bit in the terminal. So we're going to go to different directories. So I want to go to the home directory, cd /, now we're in the home directory. Now let's say I want to go to another directory. So ls, I want to go to the home directory. So cd home directory. Now I'm in the home directory. ls, see what's in home directory. There's only one directory there. Now if I want to go back one, I can go cd .. Now I'm in that directory. Now let's go to our home directory, ls-ltr, and we can see we have these 2 fixed log files, and I want to look at them. I could do a cat fix.log, and that's going to show me